Hello, viewers. I welcome you to another exciting edition of your program, The Gallery. My name is Mercy Alexander.
Pat Utomi, a professor of political economy and management expert, is a Nigerian entrepreneur whose ultimate goal is to positively affect humanity. Born in Kaduna on February 6, 1956, Utomi hails from Ibusa in Delta State. He had his primary education at St. Thomas School, Kano, 1960 to 1962, and Our Lady of Fatima School, Gusau, in 1962 to 1966. Utomi had his first degree in mass communication at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, UNN. He also held MA, MPA, and PhD in political economy. He was Director of Research and Corporate Affairs, News Training Consultancy, Lagos, Massachusetts, USA, 1996. He also belonged to many professional bodies. He is a member Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, Institute of Directors, IOD, Nigerian Economic Summit Group, and Nigerian Economic Society. He is an established columnist and a chairman Business Day Media Limited and a creator of Patito's Gang, a television show. Utomi has published several books on political economy and management.
Welcome back, my beautiful viewers. Like I was telling you about my guest today, is a mentor who have mentored a lot of people in this country, most especially our youth. His name is Prof. Pat Utomi. Hello, sir. I welcome you to the Gallery show. It's really nice having you on our show today after a very long time trying to hook up with you. Let me use this opportunity to thank you for giving us this time.
It's a great pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Now, sir, let's just quickly go straight to the question. What is your take on One Nigeria, especially with this present administration?
Well, Nigeria is not a matter dependent on one administration or the other.
Yeah.
Nigeria is about the lives of about 200 million people who history somehow brought together. Bear in mind that in pre-colonial times, most of the units that constitute Nigeria today were independent communities, not even city-states or anything like that. They were just communities. A clutter of them might form a linguistic group or the other.
Yes.
But, you know, no nation is really created from heaven. Everything evolves through happenstance of history. But part of the happenstance of history was that there was a scramble for Africa. In that scramble for Africa between the European powers, an entity called Nigeria emerged. Part of the big history of our country was the struggle between the French and the British for domination of certain areas. One of the most famous historic illustrations, stories, is the race to Nikki. Nikki is a nowhere place in the world today,
Yeah.
but the British and the French nearly killed everything to be first to get to Nikki.
Mm.
It is happenstance that's brought what is Nigeria together. Having happened, it is a privilege that we have one of the biggest customs unions, a contiguous area where, the economic arrangements are the same, for want of another way of explaining it. It's called a customs union. Now, it means that we have a bigger opportunity for Nigerians to exercise their God-given talents and develop a better life for themselves and for their children. So that is an attractive thing in its own. We should value and treasure that and build on it. Unfortunately, the way that our history has evolved is that nationality groups have not managed to melt into this pot. Americans talk about the melting pot. I mean, no matter where you come from in America, Dutch, German, Japanese, African, everybody goes into this melting pot and they become Americans. We have not managed the melting pot quite yet. And this is a short period of time, let's be fair and frank. There's a lot of intermarrying going on. I think, 100 years, 50 years from now, you want to really track trace anybody and you want to be pure, you'll be lost. Because this person is the son of a Yoruba person who married a Fulani person who married. So there's still possibilities of a melting pot. Unfortunately, we have had a very weak political class, a political class that is limited in its vision of the world. And so that political class has repeatedly exploited cleavages on religious lines, on ethnic lines, and so on and so forth, which means that today, Nigeria is less a nation than it was 60 years ago.
Okay, sir. Now, sir, as a stakeholder in Nigerian politics, history has it that you were born and raised in the north, Kaduna to be precise, and you schooled there. Now, what do you think about the northerners, standing up for Nigeria not, coming to a level that we're going to slip?
Well, let's, first of all, in terms of my own upbringing and circumstance of birth and location, I grew up my first 9-10 years in northern Nigeria. I was born in Kaduna. I was baptized in Jos.
Oh.
I lived as an infant in Maiduguri and started school in Kano. And I lived in Guzo, which is in Zamfara State today. And then I went east. I spent some time in a secondary school in Onitsha called CKC. And then I moved west and did most of my education in a secondary school in Ibadan called Loyola College. So in many ways, I'm one of those.
Yeah, you're just, yes.
I went back east and went to university in Nsukka, of Nigeria. So, but the thing about my experience growing up and this question of ethnicity and Nigeria is that really, truly, there always were suspicions of one group or the other, which happens when different groups meet. As an academic studying in an area that's generally referred to as rational choice theory, I have had to deal with the question of tribes and choices. And there's a professor at Harvard called Joshua Green, who's written a nice book titled Moral Tribes. And he borrows from work that has been done on how people make decisions between emotion,
reasons,
and ultimately, how people then resolve problems of the collective. What has happened in my experience in Nigeria from my work as a rational choice theory scholar comes from that same business of uncertainty about how others will behave. And the way that you can best overcome that is to have very savvy politicians who better understand other people, who can relate across boundaries, and people who follow them therefore understand why it is useful to have cooperation. Because in the end, when we cooperate properly with the right boundaries, we will get the most for everybody. But when cooperation is difficult, we either get into the kind of situation that you have where there's anarchy, or we get into this whole business of a dollar alone, myself. So
that's the way you say it. Okay, sir, if you have been elected as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, what is it that you would have done different, and especially in the area of security challenge in Nigeria?
Well, one fundamental thing that I would definitely do differently is an understanding that you are most effective with security when you are local.
When you're what?
When you're local.
When you're local, okay.
We need to decentralize the security architecture of the country. my simple example, which I use all the time. I mean, I lived in the United States of America, in the Midwest, in a small town. It was a university town. The university had its own police force who carry guns, everything that any police force anywhere. In fact, my favorite story is that when the governor of the state came to watch a basketball match in the university, his driver parked in the wrong place. The university police knew it was the governor's car, but his driver had not parked properly. They gave him a ticket, and the governor paid
immediately.
that is to show you how autonomous that local university police is. That even they gave the governor a ticket and he had to pay. You leave the university, you drive through the gates of university, the city, a small town that is located in, called Bloomington. Bloomington had its own police force. And you get into the county in which the city is located, the county had their own sheriffs. Then the state itself has its own. Why is this important? You see, security is not a matter of gun and force. It's a matter of intelligence. It's a matter of how much information you have about what's going on in the environment. And the people who have that kind of information are the people who live
in the environment. Yeah.
The old woman who is sitting by the window, she knows all the people who have passed. She's the one who will tell the police. At 2 o'clock, I saw one guy with Gemu who was going in that corner. That's how you solve the problem. So when you bring somebody from Malumfashi to come to Ileoluji, he's not going to know that. He will know the old woman to ask that question. So that's why policing is a local function.
Oh, so that's one thing you're going to do. You should have done if you are elected. Okay. As a professor of politics and economy, what do you think Nigeria should engage to select president comes 2023?
Well, first of all, the electoral process is totally broken.
Whoa.
Totally. Do you really believe that the person who represents you actually won an election? No Nigerian I know believes that anybody who represents them won an election. It's a farce. We all know that.
Okay.
But we live the lie so that somehow we can continue to function. So the electoral process needs to be fixed.
So let's talk about business in Nigeria. Twitter took its headquarters in Africa to Ghana. Will this have been a better boost for Nigeria economy?
Many things that could have been better. Look, after African Continental Free Trade Area, headquarters was going to be in Nigeria, but Nigeria did not know what it was doing. We're not sure we want to be in NAFTA. After decided to give it into Ghana. Now we are in NAFTA, and the thing is in Ghana. Japanese automakers, they're all, there's now a free trade area in Africa. It means that whatever you produce anywhere in Africa can move around Africa. These Nigerians who are not sure what they're doing, let's locate the factory in Ghana, we'll produce the car in Ghana and we'll sell it in
Nigeria. Oh.
It's happening to us every day. Every day. So it's not only Twitter.
So I think
this is why we need to find that governing is not a joke. It's not
a child's play.
No. You need people who are smart, sophisticated, understand the games the world is playing, and can help get into it.
Well, thank you, sir. As a business guru, sir, who has gone through the world of business, what do you think Nigerians can do to attract more businesses settled here in Nigeria?
Okay. First of all, we need discipline. Discipline in government. Discipline by all citizens in so many different ways. I'll give you an example. When the GSM auctions were about to be done, most of the leading GSM companies in the world said, Nigeria, Wahala country, we don't want to bother with them. You get there now, tomorrow the government will change the policy, this. In fact, that auction will not even take place. Nigeria, no Nigeria. Somebody will take a bribe and give somebody license, So most of them refused to participate. Now, as it turned out, one young Zimbabwean back then who had a lot of guts put together a company called Econet.
Yeah.
He chose to participate. The South Africans had a small company called MTN. They chose to participate. And God helped Nigeria in a unique circumstance, something that nearly failed, by the way. It had two people who were of the right stuff. And EVC, as the chief executive position at NCC. He had as chairman Elijah Ahmed Joda, a seasoned, decent, disciplined man, technocrat, who happened also to be friend of the president. On the night of that auction, I was there at the Hilton in Abuja. It was nearly frustrated by the minister because the president of Obasanjo was out of the country. And they were going to do the usual Nigerian thing. And NS felt his world was going to collapse that night. Went to Alhaji Joda, who called the vice president, who did not know anything about what the minister was claiming, that the president asked him to stop it. And he asked that they should go ahead. That's what saved Nigeria the tragedy that could have come with that auction. And nobody else would have shown any interest again after that. But it went through. Today, we know the benefits to Nigeria, the telecom sector, of the success of that auction. Then MTN, a small South African company, now makes so much money in Nigeria, becomes a huge multinational because of it. Envy begins to pick up. And last 2 or so years, MTN has had all kinds of troubles.
Yeah.
It's not just that the Nigerian's office is on top of their case. The National Assembly is on their case. The police is on their case. The immigration is on their case.
Everybody is on their case.
One small thing, there people will say, we're tired, let's leave Nigeria. And then you will find out that your telecom system is not able to carry. If MTN steps out between the Glow and this, we'll have a nightmare for some time at least. But when public officials are not properly educated, when they don't have the right sentiments of service, they're likely to make those kinds of
mistakes
in the calls they make. So this is really what the problem is. The person who arrives in Nigeria is out of a business and goes through the airport and is harassed by customs, is harassed by immigration.
He's not going to come again.
There was a famous case many years ago. I don't know what year again. Guy came in his private jet, landed in the place, and after the airport drills, the guy just went back to his plane and flew back. That was it. The investments he could have made were gone. So everybody has it. And let me tell you a story. It shows how countries decline, because in 1984, I was traveling to Zimbabwe. Again, Nigeria had one of those funny foreign policy. It's not foreign policy, foreign exchange issues. So you couldn't take money out of Nigeria. I had to go to Harare, but I first flew to London to get some money from London and then fly back to Harare because exchange control policy in Nigeria was just messed up. Anyway, but that's not the issue I was going to. So I landed, brought out my green passport. The immigration official said, "Oh my goodness, from Nigeria, welcome. I hope you have come to spend some of those your petrodollars here."
Oh my God.
No, he said it so nicely. I've never felt more welcome in my life. Fast forward, I don't know how many years, from about 10 years ago. So you calculate from 1984 to about 10 years ago. I am in Victoria Falls in Zambia on a short vacation. I said, okay, let's just drive across because Victoria Falls is where you have the border, Zambia here, Zimbabwe there, and who else is around the corner?
Gambia.
Anyway, so I said, we'll get to the border. Of course, says, look, we're just going to drive in, we're just having to look at the other side of the lake of the falls.
Taking a tour of
it, come back. Say, okay, how much? They had become like Nigerians.
Good.
1984, between 1984 and now, and then 10 years ago. That's why Zimbabwe is where it is. When I was there in 1984, beautiful country. I was there, I stayed on Mount Pleasant, so they call this the Ikoyi around there. Fantastic. Jacarandas were blooming. So there's consequence for the behavior of people. And that's what we're seeing in Nigeria.
Now, sir, if you see a very vibrant youth who aspire to rule Nigeria, will you give your total support to him?
Why not? I'll give to anybody who wants to do the right thing, who has the capacity to do it. I will. Definitely. I mean, I spent most of my life mentoring young people younger than myself.
Yeah.
Trying to encourage them in different areas, not just politics, but business. Whatever it is, So, yeah, it'll be a great pleasure.
What would you like to tell the youth who see politics as a deadly game? Because really, our youth these days actually see politics in Nigeria as a deadly game.
It should not be. Should not be, and that's really and it can only change if people with the right disposition turn to it and try to do something about it. As we speak, this country is dying.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's dying, and it can die completely. And who will pay the big price for it is those same young people. Look at me. I'm a tired old man now. And you see, the truth and naked truth about it is a simple teacher of some world standing. All I need to do is get on a plane and fly to any country in the world, really, whether it's the US, Australia, the UK, and I'll be nicely welcomed to one campus. And I can sit there just enjoy the rest of my life quietly. So really, I should not bother. But it hurts. Why does a 90-year-old Wole Soyinka get so worked up?
Sad.
Because he looks back at the toil of his life and sees it wasting away. And that's how some of us feel that make us
give up.
Look at things and say, what can we possibly do? But it is challenging. It is, gut-wrenching. Sometimes matter of anger, but it is what it is.
No.
Or as they say, it is what it is.
So the final question, sir, what do you think is going to happen come 2023?
I have absolutely no clue. That people say, why are you talking about 23? Will it come? Physically, that date will roll by. But many things can happen between now and then in Nigeria. Nigeria continues the way it is going, it will not exist by 2023. I can assure you of that. As a country, it won't. How many people can sleep with their two eyes closed now? One more year of this, and we're in Somalia.
Oh.
That's the truth of the matter.
Oh.
33% unemployment, youth unemployment nearly 45%. In truth, if you look at disguised unemployment, if you look at all kinds of forms of unemployment, true unemployment that are hidden under some cover or the other, might have more than 50% youth unemployment. The chances that if you graduate from a Nigerian university today, unless you are particularly privileged, you probably not get a job in the next 5-6 years. At which time you probably become unemployable. So how does a country deal with that kind of
situation?
Stuff?
Now, sir, before we call it today, I want you to advise our youth, because right now, because I love the part where you were talking about unemployment, but for me, I really don't want to feel that is the reason why our youth are going into cybercrime. What is your advice to our youth, sir?
Well, the naked truth is that in the middle of all these problems, there's still plenty of opportunity. Yes, creating an enabling environment will help, harvest that opportunity. But if I'm a young person, I would look at anything that I can do, apply my mind, I can create value and allow me income, especially one that government cannot affect. Because most times it's government that destroys business.
Okay.
Regulatory risk and stuff like that. But if you say we're a techie, there's so many apps that you can be building and selling, even internationally, help people develop software. Yes, it would be easier if certain things were in place. But it's out of Nigeria that companies like Flutterwave have come and have been sold, attracting so much money. So these things are still possible. If you take even more basic things, let's not push things all towards the tech space. If you just take agriculture. Agriculture. But if a young person gets just ordinarily 1 acre in his village and does high value horticulture, you can produce stuff that can be exported from this country and fetch you decent foreign exchange on a continuing basis. But you have to be dedicated to it. And nothing good comes
easy.
Nothing. I always say to myself that every generation has a duty to make its shoulders available for young people to stand up so they can see tomorrow more clearly. I do think that many people need to play more mentoring roles to help these young people.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that I've done a bit of mine, but I hope that people will realize that they have a moral obligation to supporting the next generation to kind of get their bearing right.
Thank you so very much, sir. Wow, my viewers, I told you that today's section is going to be wow. I don't know about you, but for me, with our guest today, he has imparted in my life with 1 or 2 things he has said, and I'm going to go out there to work hard, even harder, to also impart in the youth or whoever that I feel that I need to impart in their life in a positive way, so that tomorrow I will tell someone I did my bit. Hope you do the same. Anyway, have a wonderful weekend and enjoy it and be happy and don't forget to watch the gallery. I still remain your host, Mercy Alexander. Bye and God bless you.